I'm going to go ahead and get it started because we are limited on time. Just to let you guys know, this is a very active session and it's a kickoff. So no worries this time. Next session, we're doing this on a monthly basis, is Mastermind. This is everything that I've learned over time. The people that I love, I've invited, very close friends, family members, people, my clients are here, mentors, and you all have contributed to the success of my life in some shape or some form. So this is my way to give back in a team effort. This is a challenge for us and a unity to really kick off this Healthy Millionaire Hero project. And have one of my favorite things is, as JR this morning really pointed out, one of my very dearest friends, significance. This is very important to me. And I hope this is something for you. This is what you're looking for as well, because you're definitely going to receive significance out of this mastermind. The 4 KPIs, if you have not looked at the invitation, is related to health, wealth, relationship, and impact, your impact on others, which is the main piece in my opinion of significance. This is why I built the Healthy Millionaire Hero project. We're operating as a team, and we're going to survey everybody in here on the 2 of the 4 KPIs. And as a collaborative, we're going to decide on how we're going to measure the next two KPIs. Again, KPI, key performance indicators, what gets measured gets improved. And that is a quick intro. Did I miss anything, Jivwi?
No.
John,
Well, you can simply go into basically how what's going to happen.
Agenda. Okay, so we just did the intro. We're going to do a quick question of what you want to get out of this session. This is not a networking event. This is what I do, and this is my name. This is what I do. Your name is on there. You don't need to say your name. You just need to say what you want to get out of it, and then what's your ask. How do you want somebody else to help you? This session, these mastermind sessions, is all about bringing value and taking value. And I want to really emphasize on that. So what is it you want to get out of this? This may not be for you guys, okay? If anybody has ever worked out with me, this session is tough. It's going to keep you engaged, and you're going to grow a lot out of it. And it's going to take your full undivided attention. So keep that in mind. Right now, we're aiming for 45 minutes to an hour. At some point, these sessions could last about 3 hours, and they're going to go like this because it will be fun. So intro questions. We're going to hear from everybody. We have a guest, actually a couple guests that we're going to kind of interview, but it's a collaborative and engaging interview. Okay. So we're always going to have a guest speaker, and I'm going to share the guest speaker invite if you wanted to be a guest speaker or you want to invite somebody to be a guest speaker. Okay. Jeff Wee, if you can put that guest speaker link in the chat box, that'll be great. And then will be a final survey. This is a survey in the beginning of your resting heart rate, and the other one on the finance, on the wealth. I'll share what that's going to be. It's going to be private. It's going to be collected anonymously, and we're going to get a score for the entire group. And we are just as strong as the person next to us. So this is very much about supporting each other in these 4 elements, 4 areas. The last survey is, what did you expect going in, and what you got out of the session, and what you want in the future sessions. All the surveys are done within 60 seconds and done typically on the call. Okay, so make sure that we have 100% participation in execution. That's it. Woo, just in time. How did I do, Jeff?
Not bad.
Okay.
All right, so we can quickly get into
all right. Let's go for now that we did the intro, let's go for the question of what is that you want to get out of this. And I'd like to start with JR. He's literally on the plane to Atlanta. And so JR, are you still with us? You can't mute. It's too loud. You might want to type it if you want. So I appreciate you.
So yeah, he can type it, and we can have somebody else go. So
sure. JR can talk. Okay, JR, if you could tell us what you want to get out of this mastermind session and future sessions.
Okay. I think it'd be better if I type because they're doing a lot of announcements and I don't want to have y'all.
That's fine. Just do your best. Go for it.
Okay.
I love the sense of urgency.
So for me, my involvement in life has been healthcare and taking care of people. And so now as I have exited that particular practice, it's looking out to find a way to find significance in helping other people that has been come naturally to me for a couple of decades now. So that'll be number one for me.
Significance. Okay, thank you, Jar. I appreciate that. All right, who would like to go next? We'd like to get this done really quickly. Jeff Weiss keeping the time, giving us 60 seconds for all to share what we want to get out of this session.
Okay. Steven says he wants to go.
Mr. Husky.
Yeah, man. Great to see you.
Likewise, brother.
I think I've recognized a few of y'all on here.
Yeah.
I'm a big networker. I love to connect people with folks who can impact their lives positively. So impactful networking and connection is really going to be good for me. And also trying to figure out how the leaders of the world understand wealth and growing wealth. Obviously, I'm in the wealth business, so I'd like to gain perspective from others and curate content to people based on what they want to learn more about. So I'm here to learn.
Great. Here to learn. Fantastic. Thank you so much, Stephen. Next. Let's keep moving.
They can call somebody.
Just Mike.
All right.
Can
I cut somebody off?
Nope. Go for it.
I'm sorry. I want to learn how to have a life like Dr. Michael Wax.
It's him in the car all day long. All his posts on social media. So at least
all that alive.
Seriously, Mike, we need to go to lunch. But listen, I'm here to support you, Fadi. I need a project.
No, not allowed. You're not here to support me. You got to
I need a project to do. I don't have anything to do these days. So realistically, if somebody has a pet project, a hobby that I could be a team player on and add some experience and expertise, I'm happy to do so. I don't really have a big ask. That's it. Other than to live like Mike.
Okay.
How are you a pet queen?
Thank you, Mike. Next. So the question is, what do you want to get out of your participation in this Healthy Millionaire Hero project? Come on, I want to hear from you real quick. Let's go. Don't make me start pointing people out.
Just point people out. Yeah,
Jonathan. Hey guys, I'm Jonathan. Good to meet everyone. I just want to say that thank you all so much for your time here. I'm just looking to share, support, and learn.
Fantastic. Thank you, Jonathan. All right. Chad, from all the way from California.
Yeah, so long time corporate guy, recently going into the entrepreneurship lane. Figure out there's a whole lot to learn regardless of what I've done in the past. So when there are groups of folks getting together, doing coaching and consulting now, still getting the ICF certification for the coaching, but always looking to learn from folks who are also looking to, strive to do something new. And someone else called out wealth. Making money is a good thing, especially as we age. So thank you.
Thank you, Chad. Appreciate it. Jay, my man, Mr. Walters, where are you?
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, so basically just here to learn. I'm excited to kind of hear what everybody else has to say too, and that can be just a learning experience myself. So just curious about the call.
Fantastic. Thank you, Jay. Thank you for joining us. Jarrell, what do you want to get out of your participation in the Healthy Millionaire Hero Project?
Yeah, here to learn more about it and explore what other avenues and just connect with people, I would say. So big part would be network, learn more, and see where it goes from there.
Thank you, Jarrell. Appreciate you, buddy. Gary Z.
Yep. For me, it's just I'm always a continuous learner, so I'm always looking to learn something new every day. And I'm feeling I'm going to get some great tips today from someone here in the group. So that's what I'm here for.
Awesome. Dr. Wax.
Hey, so thanks everybody. So nice meeting all of you. Some of you I already know. Clearly Michael Procaccini, I do. I don't know where he got that. My lifestyle's so great, but I'm in a parking lot in a car right now. So if that's great. You need to set higher standards.
Hopefully not with a gun in your hands.
No, all good. It's so funny.
I am excited because I haven't been a part of a mastermind group in a long time. I'm used to leading my own organization, and so sitting back and listening and hearing the experience of other people, both personally and professionally, bringing together ideas, and then maybe, like Michael said, is if there are projects that individually or collectively we can be a part of to help each other or invest with each other, and we have a strong team. I'm all for that.
Thank you, Dr. Wax. Appreciate that. Cannot thank you enough. Okay, my brother, Habibi, Basil.
Hello. How's everybody?
By the way, Basil, this is my second family.
So I'm here. Really, I've never been to a millionaire club before, so I just want to be a millionaire. Really, honestly. Now I'm here basically to learn about your program, and just if I can help, I would love to help. And yeah, this is all good. Thank you.
Thank you. So many givers in here, right? This is, I guess, why I have such amazing friends that are always pouring into me, not ongoingly. The question is, what do you want to get out of your participation in the Healthy Millionaire Hero? And here shortly, I'm going to be asking everybody, what's your ask? What you specifically need help with? What is an immediate challenge in your life? So believe me, you guys are going to have great opportunities to help each other here shortly. Justin, Mr. Justin.
Yes, sir. Good morning.
Yes, go for it.
Let's say I'm looking to learn as well, and really observe and just see what everyone else is kind of really wanting to get out of this, and kind of see how everybody engages.
Thank you, Justin. Appreciate you. Glad to have you here. Khaled, my brother from another mother. Are you with us? We'd love to see you.
Good morning. Good morning, Fadi. Good morning, everyone. Sorry I could put the camera today, but yeah, I'm here first time. Just want to see what this is all about and bounce ideas and learn. Yeah, so nice to meet you all.
Thank you, Khaled. Appreciate you. Okay, we got Isabella. Is Isabella the only girl in here? Oh my goodness, Isabella.
I am. Sorry, I didn't have my camera on because I still have my witch back here. So I'm a big Halloween fanatic.
That's awesome.
She'll be joining us today. This is actually my first mastermind ever, so I'm not really sure what to expect. So I'm just always open-minded, and I'm just excited to hear what a mastermind is all about because I've heard amazing things from Fadi. So.
Thank you, Isabella. My immediate ask is that you bring more women on this call. Besides, my lovely fiance is here, but she's sick. I think she's just listening in. So yeah, she called in. Babe, are you there?
I'm here. I was about to say, I think I'm a girl last time I checked.
Dang.
Last time I checked as well, thank God.
He did say beside my girlfriend. So.
What's that?
You did mention that she was here and she's a girl, so
I thought I did.
Yeah.
What would you like to get out of your participation in the Healthy Millionaire Hero Project besides supporting the love of your life?
Well, that of course was going to be my number one, first and foremost, and then secondly, I've had a lot of experience. Not as an entrepreneur, I've learned a tremendous amount from you and listening to you through the years. So I'd like to explore that side of things, as it looks like I might have some 1099 opportunities coming my way here shortly, and then just be able to give back and my knowledge, experience, and the base that I've developed through the years to anyone and mentor anyone, assist anyone that I'm able to, and then just glean from this amazing group.
Thank you, Beth. I appreciate you. I think we've heard from everybody. Is that correct, Jebwi?
Yes, I believe so.
All right. Thank you, guys. I really, really appreciate the feedback. So I'm not sure if JR has taken off, but if he has, I just realized that. I hope he has a safe flight. Yes, he's off the meeting. So, all right. Thank you, guys. I appreciate that. So the next section here is my guest, Gary Johnson, an amazing CMO that's retired, and I feel like, in my opinion, he has significance. He rides motorcycles with me on the weekends from time to time, and that says a lot. So I'm gonna drop in Gary's LinkedIn So you can see his extensive experience as a CMO, producing billions for companies. And so I brought him in because it's one thing that he and I really agreed on. We agreed on a lot of things, especially our taste in motorcycles. Branding, personal branding, I think is very important, even if you're in business or not, because your personal brand is very tied to your significance and you leaving a legacy. And so I wanted to have somebody that we can talk to a little bit in regards personal branding. And guys, jump in anytime, say, hey, you know what? I don't agree with this, or I do agree with this. And here's how I'm, practicing this today in my business, or here's how I'm practicing this personally, as it has brought significance in me. And I give you an example. I have major anxiety because I was developed to produce results as a professional bodybuilder. And if I didn't get the results, I just was not a happy person, right? It was always about the end journey. And all my trophies, you think all my trophies are, I had stacks and stacks and trophies. I keep one trophy as a reminder and everything else is, hidden. And I never celebrated. I never got excited in anticipation for a show. I never really hardly celebrated afterwards. And I never shared my acknowledgement because everything was about the end result. And it was very hard for me to enjoy the process. So I've worked really hard to enjoy the process. And this is one of the things that I'm going to share with you guys is the 7 elements of worldly success, in my opinion, and being present to your spiritual, mental, physical, financial, social, emotional, and artistical elements. And this is the foundation of this mastermind, of being present to these 7 elements and the 4 KPIs and the expertise that I'm going to bring, and hopefully you bring in as well with yourself and the guests that you bring in. So without further ado, I've said a lot about me and the Healthy Millionaire hero. Jeff, if you can share Gary Johnson's LinkedIn profile in the chat box, that would be great. And let's go ahead and get started with Gary. Gary, tell us what's significance means for you. And did we hear from Gary about what he wanted to get out of this, his participation? I feel like I missed him. Did we miss Gary?
I can give you an update.
Okay, give me an update.
All right. Well, first of all, I'm very excited to be part of this session because this is an atypical type of group that from a point of view of who I would normally meet with when I go out with a beer or whatever, it's the same old people. So this is a whole group of new faces, people with different backgrounds, different points of view. So I'm really looking forward to just getting to know people more. What I want to take away from this, and what I would like is, and I'll tell you a little bit more when we get into the session, that I'm in chapter 2 of life. Just retired from corporate life at about 1,000 miles an hour on a treadmill for seemed like a long time. And now I'm exploring a number of things, business and personal, and riding motorcycles in a club and all kinds of other things. So that's what I'm looking to take away from interacting with this group.
Thank you, Gary. I appreciate that. So you mentioned earlier that the importance of a personal brand, personal and professional brand. What can you tell us, why? Why is a personal brand? There's a lot of people in this group that are extremely private. They don't care about exposure. They're happy with their close circle of friends. They don't want to build a following. Why a personal brand? And, what does it look like? Small, big, medium? Tell us a little bit what your thoughts about that. And anybody has any questions for Gary, feel free to jump in, either say it verbally or put it in the chat box.
Yeah. So let's just talk about branding, because that's been my background, and why I feel I can speak about this topic is that. So my entire career has been about building brands. I started in consumer packaged goods and marketing. Was recruited out of school for a Fortune 100 company working on big brands, and you learn that the brand is everything. If the brand promise is significant and it's a unique and it's attractive and you can back up that promise, your product or service sells. Well, this also applies to people, and not just the people that are trying to be influencers that have 18.3 million followers on whatever social media platform, but just in a conversation amongst your friends, your colleagues, or even your family. A brand means that you make choices, you make conscious choices about what you are good at, what you enjoy, and what you want to be known for. And it's not just about economic, it can be spiritual payback. It can be friendship payback. So that, from a high level, that's how I'm approaching branding and my point is about, I think people need to approach themselves as the brand. In mentoring and developing many people over 30 plus years in corporate life, that's been part of my stump speech for people that I've recruited and worked for me, is that they need to understand, what is your current brand image? What are you known for? What are you known to be good at? What are you known, maybe you're not the best at, but you put your efforts in, but what do you also enjoy? And then define, what is your ideal brand image and positioning for the longer term? And what's the gaps that need to be closed? New skills, new experiences, maybe a new attitude and how you approach relationships. Those are all the things that is management of that brand over time. Does that make sense?
Totally. 100%. Very well said. I couldn't have said it any better, for sure. Any thoughts about what Gary has shared? For example, I've followed Husky, Mr. Husky, his brand, for quite some time. I've seen it elevate and grow significantly. And I've seen how he has shown up over and over and over to many meetings with constantly providing value. To me, he is significant. And I'm not trying to just highlight everything on him. Everybody's done this in my life, but just recently with Stephen, he's public about it. What he's offered, and my brother has offered the same thing. My brother is very private. Stephen is very public, but Stephen's brand has been very visually appealing to me. And as you guys know, most guys are very visual, right? But I'm also, as Mike, tells me, I'm very kinesthetic as well. Thanks for that reminder. Yes, that I got to enjoy a day with Mr. Mike Porcaccini. Stephen's brand is really appealing. There's a lot of financial guys out there, but they are not appealing. In fact, they're repulsive. I want to run the other direction. What is it about Stephen Husky's brand that keeps me engaged? I don't know if you guys have seen, Steve, can you drop in your website or, even your LinkedIn profile? And I'd like to, at some point here, I like to give Stephen 30 seconds why he chooses to go public. And then I'd love to hear my brother why he likes to go private. And if he's probably so private, he might not even respond to this. Maybe somebody else that's on this call that's very private that would like to say, this is why I'm fucking private. So is that okay, Gary, that we hear 30 seconds from Stephen? Why public? And anybody more private than my brother?
How do we know?
I don't know. I know, Mike, Mr. Wax, I see you on social. Basil is a troller. He'll be on there and on social, but he's not going to engage. I'm calling you out, bro. Only because I love you.
I stay private because sometimes my opinions are harsh, man.
Yeah, so a big heart, and yes, he will hit you between the fucking eyes quickly, and I love that about him. But okay, so is that your answer, Basil? That's why.
No, yeah, I try to maintain friends and look amicable at least online. So, but there's a lot. I'm a very opinionated person, but it doesn't mean I'm right. But I'm just pretty harsh with stuff. That's all. I admit.
That's an interesting observation. Wow. Okay. Thank you. I don't think I've ever posed that question to my brother. So thank you. Stephen, back to you. Why are you public?
Appreciate that. Well, there's a lot of financial advisors in the world, right? And most people, when you hear from folks at a party that they are financial advisors, guess what? You stop the conversation real quick. You walk the other way, just like you mentioned. And so first and foremost, I wanted to be an educator. I wanted to dispel myths about finances, and I just wanted to be appealing so that people can reach out to me. People like to buy, they hate to be sold. So when people are ready and that there's something that stood out to them or resonated, they can reach out to me and say, hey, that was very interesting. I'd like to learn more about that. And then I can help them along their path, their financial journey. That's why I'm public.
Okay, very good. Well, what makes you appealing? Why do you think why is your network, they say your network is your net worth. Why does your network continue to grow? What is it about your brand as opposed to somebody else's brand?
I like to give more than I take. I do believe in karma. I do think that if I give out enough to the world, somehow it'll come back around. I'm very altruistic. I like to help others. I sit on the boards of various charities. I like to be out in the community and just be a figure for them if they have questions, if they want to learn something, I went to my agency annual meeting last week, and I had like a line of advisors asking me, how are you marketing? Why are you doing what you're doing? And just the impact you're providing your community sounds like it's doing really well. And so I just like to be a source of knowledge for people.
Awesome. Thank you, Stephen. Gary, your thoughts about the private and the public as far as personal and professional brand?
Yeah, I think, the distinction between the private and the public, for me is it could be as much about just personality and what are you comfortable with, right? And because there are some people who are very comfortable in having discussions with large groups, interacting with lots of folks, and they get recharged. And there are people who don't get recharged from that, so it could be just about personality. But regardless, in both cases, it's still about, as Stephen mentioned, it's really defining, what am I good at and what do I enjoy doing, and then channeling that energy into it, whether it's public or private, but it's about knowing who you are in your own skin and doing that extremely well.
Okay. Can we have how do we have in our fourth KPI is our exposure, our impact and significance on others? How do we measure that if we're not looking, okay, I've got 8 million people follow me on Instagram? Is there another way to measure besides public exposure?
I think so at the other extreme, I think it's personal relationships, and something that probably many of you do. I have a good friend of mine he literally has a monthly checklist of people he checks in on and just says, how you doing?
Yeah.
And nothing, too intense, but it's maintaining relationships with family members, former colleagues, others. And that leads to, stronger relationships and a stronger sense of well-being. And again, back to your brand, you want to be known as somebody who people can count on. Yep. And then on a larger scale, I think, where people have, it's about followers and others, that starts to become a little more impersonal. But I think that they can still break that down into certain groups, people who have common problems or issues they would like support with, and then being able to help them and connect them, even if it's not a one-to-one, but it's a one to a small defined group, but common needs and issues.
Got it. Thank you, Gary. Chad has a question.
Yeah, so I know you said you came from corporate, and my question is around, so corporate environments, especially when we're younger, sometimes a corporate environment sort of flavors your personal brand. I know in the early days, there's lots of fitting in and making sure you're, saying the right things, being the right person. Over time, it's much harder to mask who you are. You don't really feel like you're supposed to either. So my question is, as you feel more comfortable in your natural skin, how important do you think it is to, when you find some place where maybe it's a great opportunity, not a great fit, to either mold your environment or sort of tamper down, how do you bridge that gap when you're someplace where maybe who you really are is only 50% acceptable to the opportunity that you have?
Yeah, that's a great question, because these times are changing, aren't they? In terms of even before COVID, I had the good luck and fortune actually to work for a very stodgy 140-year-old corporation that had rules about rules and policies about policies. And there was a particular, type of suspenders at one time all the guys wore. I mean, it was so rigid. It was like crazy. The second half of my career, I left Fortune 100 companies because I saw that smaller companies that I was acquiring were having a lot of fun. And I went to work for a early stage company here in Atlanta. I had 110 employees. Probably 75% of the employees were prior D1 college athletes. Average age was 26 in this company. And so, and to answer your question, as I got to meet the founders of it and decided to jump on board as one of the execs, it's like I had to flex with it because there were certain things that were, I thought, just amazing and so positive about the culture. There were other things that I wasn't as comfortable with. And I said, well, either I need to get comfortable with, or I can see how I can influence this and change it. But I think you have to make some hard decisions about what is the fit. Is it 70, 80% right? Because I don't think any company will be 100% right. I've found that hard, particularly as you get into smaller companies that are, work from home cultures. I tell a good friend of mine about when I started with this company. I started on a Tuesday, and Thursday afternoon, which I did not know, the first Thursday of the month was drink cart day. And I'm on a call on speakerphone, and a drink cart pulls up to the door of my office with a blender and music blaring out of a speaker. And what the heck is it? Well, we have a drink cart first Thursday of every month. I got to like the drink cart on Thursdays, first Thursday of the month. So I rolled with it.
Got it. Thank you.
Awesome, Gary. Love that. By the way, Mr. Bob Langley just joined us. He is a very good friend of mine and mentor. Not sure we're gonna be able to see your face, Bob, but I'm very glad that you're able to make it. I know this is a very difficult time for you to come and join us, but we're about 36 minutes into it. And the question I'm gonna pose to you, and I pose to everybody in the group, would love to hear from you. This is our Healthy Millionaire Hero Project kickoff, as you know, and the question that we asked everybody is, what is the one thing that you want to get out of your participation in this call today? I'm very strongly emphasize that we are providing value and helping the next person as well. We here shortly will be, once there's enough conversation and content, we can ask specific things that we need for our business or in our life today, our significance in health and relationship. And exposure. Today, Gary Johnson is talking about personal and professional brand, whether you're retired or not retired. And we've highlighted Mr. Husky as a financial advisor, that he's very public, and then my brother being very private. And this session is a challenge for us and a unity for us to collaborate and grow as a mastermind. This is a collaborative effort. So Bob, hopefully you heard what I've shared. Could you share your perspective of what I talked about here just shortly? Sorry, just to try to summarize and get you up to speed real quick.
No worries. Welcome, guy. Thanks for intro there. I missed all your conversations. Sorry, as I mentioned to you yesterday, I'd be going through a session with a client today that, as usual, as you know, normally runs long. What specifically do you want me, or what are you guys addressing right now that you wanted again? Because you kind of went in different ways there.
Yeah, I apologize. So what do you want to get out of your participation out of this session?
Well, just to hear new ideas, be able to share some new ideas, hear what's working, what's not working. As everybody knows, the environment's changing politically, business-wise, financial markets are changing, and just kind of hear what's going on and what other people are experiencing, successes as well as opportunities that everybody's facing. So that's kind of just to get new ideas.
Perfect. Thank you, Bob. I appreciate that. If you want to talk politics, my brother is your guy.
I actually have a question for you, Gary. as you've been working with brands and all of that. Tell us a little bit about perhaps walking into a company, the biggest challenge that you faced with getting a brand going, or maybe it didn't have a good reputation, or whatever it was, and what did you do to overcome that?
Yeah, great question. It's all part of the due diligence and the assessment that I do with the executive team, and if it's private equity backed, definitely the board. Because if it's private equity backed, somebody probably sold a lot of the interest, and they're actually the ones in charge of the company. So things around the brand. Hardest thing is things that are believed to be sacred cows. And like example, it was a company we acquired. I was with another company here in Atlanta, and we eventually did an IPO on NASDAQ, but we acquired a couple dozen companies. And one of the companies, I was meeting with the founders. We're going to do the deal, but it was my job to figure out how to integrate it. And one of the things we were doing is around the brand. We said, we're going to have one brand, a so-called branded house strategy. So all these other things that were brands that we were acquiring were going to go away. And the gentleman said, you know, my daughter came up with that name around the kitchen table. That's a sacred cow. You know, that's a sacred cow. So I had to have a conversation with them. And I said, it's a wonderful name, and I'm sure your daughter's brilliant at coming up with brands, but this is, you know, the strategy and the destination and the multiple we're going to put on your business, the multiple on your EBITDA, your revenue. And here's a research study that shows your brand awareness. You know, what percentage of the decision makers that could buy our product, and this was aimed at CFOs of health systems, have even heard of your brand, and it was extremely low. And so we looked at the data, and you couldn't argue really with it. I said, you know, your brand's really not that well known, and where it is known, it has a positive image, but it's very small. So we're going to lose that brand. We're going to migrate in an orderly process over a period of time to this primary brand, the branded house, which was the name of the company as the brand. But things like that, I find are the hardest things when you come into a company as somebody who's there to bring change, is that you find out what things people really are comfortable with changing and what things they're not pretty quickly. And then I found you have to have some very candid conversations, say, look, it's all about the growth of the business, you know, growing its revenue, or we're going to acquire companies, or we're going to, you know, build massive new market share. That's the goal, and we got to do some things to make that happen. But it can be require a number of one-on-one conversations to get people comfortable with that.
Yep. Stephen has a question or comment.
Yeah, great point, Gary. My question is I've seen people do really well in growing their own brand individually apart from the company that they may work for. So how important do you think it is to grow our brands, our personal brands as individuals, even though we might work for a Fortune 100 company or a small startup company? And why is that so important as an individual?
Yeah. I think it's very important that people understand that, you know, really your own worth. At the end of the day, you work for yourself, even if you're a W-2 employee for a corporations with a paycheck and a 401k. It's you work for yourself, and are you building the value in that brand? Because stuff happens. Really good friend of mine, I met because I worked for a large company that acquired the large company that he was with, and it was a very old company. And the first thing our corporation did was jettison about 30% of the workforce. And so, you know, the day before, you know, the so-called day before, he was working in a 100-plus-year-old company, Fortune 500, everything is great. And then, wow, you just got acquired. It's really important, I think, to build your brand and your brand equity, because you may also move into different industries, or different lines of work, or different geographies. And that brand image needs to travel well with you. and not be totally dependent on just your current employer or the business that you're running.
Yep.
That's my thoughts about it.
Very good. Very good, Gary. I apologize. We're a bit limited on time today. So I do hope, and I most likely this mastermind will eventually get to an hour and a half, 2 hours, 3 hours. This is gonna, in speaking in brand, this Healthy Millionaire Hero project is ours, and it will be public. And we will be using content from here. Now, if you wanted consent not to be on exposed, understand, want to respect your privacy, but most likely, you know, at some point you're going to want to exit this mastermind, and because you don't want to be exposed, and that's totally fine. But this Healthy Millionaire Hero project is very much about paying it forward, and we are going to work collaboratively to build this brand. And so in its essence, this is our project. The Healthy Millionaire Hero project is that we are becoming a stronger, healthy millionaire heroes, and as well as inspiring others to do the same thing. That's my hope for this mastermind. So with that being said, because of our limited time, I got a quick question for you, brain break from branding. I want you to look down at your watch. If you have your resting heart rate, or what's your heart rate right now? Put it in the chat box immediately. In the chat box, put in your current heart rate right now. Not considered resting because we're sitting on our laurels right now. What is your heart rate? Chad, 64. Steven, 70. Very good. Come on, guys. I want to hear from everybody in the chat box except the guy that's driving.
I have my watch on, Fatty.
No watch, that's fine. Gary, 81, 62. Mine is surprisingly 79, 62. Very, very good. So very good. Is this everybody? 62. Very good. All right. Now, look at your track record for the last 7 days on your phone or your watch, if you can, if you have this. What is your resting heart rate when you're sleeping? Or what was it last night? I'm gonna look at mine right now. Why are we talking about resting heart rates? Does anybody want to chime in on this? Why is this so important? Mr. Walters, want to share? Another doctor, Dr. Wack?
I don't know if I'd be the best one to talk about it because I don't have one of the watches that actually does.
That's all right. Who pays attention to the resting heart rate? Give me some resting heart rate. 67, Jonathan, 64, Bob, 54, nice. 64, Stephen, not that much from right now. That's what, 70s for 6 points lower. That's good, okay. All right, mine, the lowest I've seen in the last month was 49, and last night and this week average was 51. You guys know I'm not an endurance athlete, but I have been able to reduce my resting heart rate just doing fun activities like swimming and riding my bicycle and dancing. So why am I sharing this with you guys? So there's a direct correlation with your resting heart rate and longevity and the ability for you to handle stress. There you have it. Simple as that. So one of the easiest numbers to track. And this is one of our primary KPIs. I want to encourage every one of you to have a number on that. And research says, and I've experienced it, you can drop your resting heart rate by 10 beats in the next 30 days. I'll say it again. You could drop your resting heartbeat by 10 in the next 30 days, depending on what you do. I want to hear about how you're doing it, how you're dropping your resting heart rate. We're right now, we're not prepared for it, but next session, We're going to just send out a survey that's going to collect all the numbers, and we're going to get one aggregated number. And this is going to be a KPI for the entire group. Okay. That's going to be a public number. Obviously, we did that publicly because we've talked about public and private. Now, the private number, the question is your net worth, your return on your investment, your portfolio on a daily basis. So let's just say if you have, I don't know, whatever it is, 10,000, 100,000, 100 million, and a simple way to calculate it, you take your, let's just say your retirement account, you take that number and you divide it by 4%. And that should give you an annual number of what that number is. Stephen, you might want to give out numbers, or where's my human calculator? My brother. 4% of, let's just say $1 million. That's going to give you a number for the year. 4%, I'm saying that you're going to live, let's say your return is 8%, but you're living off of 4% dividends. And those dividends are going to be divided on a daily basis. So there's a number, whether it be 0, $50, $100, $1,000, $10,000 a day that your portfolio is giving you a return. Now, it could be in the stock market, it can be in real estate, it can be in notes, it could be in your own business. You're sleeping and then in your business is cash flowing. This is a private number. Don't need to share it. Again, we will do an anonymous survey that we'll send out to you. You'll put this number in, and we're going to do a collective of the daily return on our investment of this group. And this is how we're helping each other grow. We want to see that our health numbers, resting heart rate goes down. And we want to see our wealth numbers going up, our daily going up by 1%. That's it. 1%. Those are two simple, very KPIs to track. Okay. What are you guys' thoughts about those two KPIs? Do we love it? Do we hate it? I don't want anybody on the middle on this shit. You guys got to be very candid, because this is a number that I'm suggesting that we should do. And if you're a hell yes, I want to hear about it. If it's a hell no, I want to hear about it right now.
Oh, yes.
Hell yes. Thank you, Justin. You guys want to vote? Yeah, a hell yes in the chat box, or a hell no in the chat box. Let's go. Jeff, we need a voting tool next time. Let's make sure that we have that in there. All those little, by the way, any ways you guys will have an opportunity to improve this session. Some people are really good with Zoom and all these gadgets and apps. And so I think that there's a voting app we can use down the road. Analyze gross rate of return. We should have a benchmark to compare. Okay. I like that, Stephen. Don't think the wealth aspect for this group is necessary. I strongly disagree. The four KPIs: health, wealth, relationship, impact. Why is it not an important part of this group? Why is this not necessary? Michael? You just like to object. I can't hear you. There must be a reason. God does not want us to hear from you.
Can you hear me now?
Got it. Yeah.
I thought this group was called the Millionaire Hero Group. I would assume people are millionaires.
Healthy Millionaire Hero.
Huh?
Healthy Millionaire Hero. We could do a lot more with money.
Healthy. So that's what I said. For the health, at our age, anything health related makes sense. But if I have to annualize to a daily basis how much my investments are gaining, which obviously is a nice strategy and a specific, but I think I apologize, and it's beyond what I need to do.
Okay, that's not a problem. It may not be for
you. You asked me to be honest, so I'm being honest.
Maybe we don't want that to grow. Our focus is the financial piece for you. You don't want that to grow. I get it.
Well, no, I want it to grow. I just, for me, I don't need to do it at that level of specificity.
What do you mean? Like, you mean to share it? It's anonymous. We don't want to know what your numbers are. I'm sorry, somebody help me out. What am I now?
Whether I share it or not, I don't really care. For me to do it
I think he's saying he didn't need to break it down.
Yeah, I think Michael's indicated that a daily measurement and monitoring for investment return may be as useful as more of a longer horizon. You know, markets.
And I would agree. When I first started out in practice, and attorneys were making $200 an hour, because I broke it down to the hour.
Yep.
So I'm better than an attorney, so I have to make more than an attorney.
Gotcha. I understand.
Then I increased my wealth on, you know, I say, okay, I'm making $500 an hour. So, you know, I get it. I mean, but
okay. Well, we've got.
And I would think that I'm trying not to be arrogant. I'm just saying, I think that's a wonderful strategy for somebody sub 30 years old or just starting their career. I mean,
I understand what you're saying now. I appreciate that. This is be a really great conversation for our next session. We're coming to the hour. I love that. I want to hear people's perspective. Again, this is not my group. This is our group. I founded it. I birthed it, but it's going to take a village, and you are part of the village, guys. So I appreciate the feedback. We'll definitely dive into it, and I like that we had a different perspective on it.
I would just add, and like I said, Isabella said, no, I want wealth. I understand that.
Wealth is going to be definitely a part of it.
And Isabella, you're in the right place.
It could be something different. The reason why I picked this number is that the 7 elements is based on a 24-hour process. Okay. And we're not measuring on a daily basis. We'll benchmark maybe on a monthly or a quarterly basis, right? But the whole point is that your investment, your portfolio is growing. You're investing in the right people, in the right companies, in the right places. So, ultimately, it's going to it should still be growing. Portfolio, will it dip? Yes, absolutely. But this is why we're creating this community. It's going to ebb and flow. It is just part of that. So anyways, we'll talk a little bit more about that. Okay, are we all in agreement as far as the health KPI of the resting heart rate? Is there a better KPI besides our resting heart rate that's directly correlated to longevity and health?
Buddy, I don't know if if there's a better one. One thing I was going to add about it is that there's definitely, like, you can control it. Like, if you give me a minute and a half, I can knock it down pretty low. But then, you know, once the stress hits, you know what I mean? It's one of those things. So I think if there's a time of day that we check.
Well, we take an average. You can take an average for the week, for the month, for the year.
Yeah.
So, but let's leave it up as a question mark. That's okay. I just wanted to give you guys enough to get you thinking about what is important: health, wealth, relationship, impact. This is what this mastermind is. Nothing is set in stone at all. This is a preliminary kickoff for the Healthy Millionaire project. We are a unity. We are a group that's evolving in this area. If it doesn't interest you, I understand. If it does, great. I'd love for you to be a part of it next month. Feel free to invite others. Feel free to also invite guest speakers. If you haven't received the guest speaker link, Jeff, if you can put that in the chat box, we'll also send you a follow-up email with minutes to this meeting. All right. Looks like we still have 60. Okay, we still have just about everybody on the call. That's fantastic. Very good. All right, closing remarks. Let's say we did the intro, we did the question. Well, the question that we didn't ask that is very, very important is an immediate ask. What is an immediate challenge in your life right now? Just for the time's sake, drop it in the chat box. This is an easy way for us to record it. And anybody in the group here can answer that question right away. Great. I want you guys to connect and get to know each other. So immediate ask, something that you need today, this week, no more than that. Tops, if something that you need is going to take 30 days, that's fine. You'll have until the next mastermind session to help that person, help them in the next 30 days, whatever that may be. Okay.
I think it might be, if you don't mind me chiming in real quick, I think somebody else wants to add on. I think it might be because it's 10:58. I know we initially was supposed to be 45 minutes, but if anything, let's reserve that for the next meeting that we have, so that way everybody can sort of like.
Okay. Well, that was it. That was the last question for the day. So we have 2 minutes. We had enough time for it. I appreciate that. and I my ask, Javwi, is can we get this last question answered? Do we have anything else besides that, Javwi?
No, that's it.
That's it. So be looking out for the surveys and the minute notes for this meeting. Sorry, thank you. But I want to read here real quick. I agree. Jonathan agreed to something. I think stress management is important. Very good. Okay. Shared a new business, trying to sort through some of options, mentors to help me find ways. Okay, very good. Well, you're definitely in the right place, Chad. Michael, I need a business bank contact that wants to discuss working with a company for a larger line of credit than I have now. Michael, you want institutional money or private?
No, I do not want private. That costs too much money. We're funded by a bank. We want to stay with the banks.
Okay. All right. I think I have some resources for you there. Make more connections with people in my industry targets. Stephen needs to finish his last CFP course and take the exam by April 2024. Okay. So that sounds like Stephen is looking for some accountability. Okay. Some accountability. Guys, pick a person that you want to help out of this meeting. I want to help everybody here, but I can't help everybody here. So this is for you guys to connect. So write in the chat box. I know it's 11 o'clock. Javwi, forgive me. Make sure you connect with this person here if you want to help him. If you want to help Stephen hold him accountable to his excellence in the course by April 2024, talk to him. I can't help everybody here. I want to, but I cannot. Who's going to help Chad? Who's going to mentor Chad? Who's going to help increase connections with Isabella? This is an opportunity for you to provide value. You cannot be in my fucking mastermind if you're not providing value. How you like that?
Hey, Fadi. Hey, Fadi. I know, like me, along with some other people, of course, looking at building business and stuff like that right there. Would you suggest that this is just a good time to throw our websites inside the chat right there, and then we can look at it later on?
This is the time. Thank you, Jonathan. I could always use more business. Looking forward to learning, sharing the best practice. Jonathan is an amazing photographer in Atlanta. I hold you accountable, Stephen. Ooh, look at that. Justin is on top of you. Hopefully not literally, Justin. I'll reach out to you later today. Everybody okay with sharing everybody's contact information? If it's a no, put it in the box. If you like a little help with this, or send it private, that you don't want to connect, call me. Call me, baby. Nothing has any value than value you give it. Thank you, Gary. All right, Justin. Would love to share, get folks contacted. I hope to see you guys next week. I hope this brought a lot of value to you. And I'm so thankful that you guys showed up. You guys really have made my fucking year. Excuse my French. I'm just, me, when I'm passionate and I'm very happy, I'm dropping the F-bomb. Beth, my love, I know you don't like the F-bomb. I'm going to use fudge instead. Okay. That's what you guys hold me accountable to being more politically correct. But Gary V drops the F-bomb all the time. That's how I justify the F-bomb.
That's true. He does.
Anyone?
Will we get folks like emails and stuff?
Yeah, we're going to send an email out to everybody here. If I have your email, you're going to be on the thread. You're going to get 2 surveys at least. One for feedback, one for numbers. And then anything you guys, any way you guys want to participate and make, this is your family. This is your new group. If you want to be part of it, you want to grow this with us, I want you guys to jump in, reach out to me. Javwi is helping me. Jonathan is helping. Justin is helping. They've all have volunteered on this call today. They've taken a great amount of energy, time, and resource to help out. Gary, of course, is one of our guest speakers here to help. Thank you, Jeff. You are
speaking of helping. I think it might be helpful to whatever else it is that you want to talk about. You can always insert it in an email to everybody, so that way everybody's much in the loop.
Thank you, guys.
We're already 3 minutes past time.
Love you. And I actually somehow somebody made it on my schedule today at 11. I thought I had that blocked. How did that happen? All right, guys. Thank you. Hope to see you next month. Enjoy. Bye for now.
Thank you all.
Thanks, guys.